So for the unboxing this year, instead of saving everything and keeping everything piled up in my schoolroom, I'm going to unbox it as it comes in and try to do a few little flip throughs when I can and just combine everything into one video. So this will be a piece by piece type of unboxing that I hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is from Masterbooks. So I got Geometry, Jacob's Geometry, 3rd edition, pretty thick book. That is the textbook Replacing Darwin. This goes with Aubrey's biology course. This was one of the recommended readings. They're actually going to read some of Darwin's work in this side by side, and I think she's really going to enjoy that. Also for her biology, I got the ecology book, and then something that I'm trying with Gage is I don't think he was quite ready to move up to Rod and Staff Math 4, so I'm trying Lessons for a Living Education Math Level 4 for Masterbooks, just to see if that'll be a little more gentle approach. I think he'll do well with this because he's good with math. I just wanted more of a gentle approach. And we tried this in the past and it didn't do well for Aubrey because it wasn't enough practice, but I think he'll do okay with it. So we're going to try that. And then this is the rest of the geometry. Here's the teacher's manual, or the solutions manual. And then let's see what you got, Gage. And then we have the teacher's guide. So just a quick flip through of these materials. So I do want to say that with these two books, these do come with the Living Heritage biology plans. They are 2 of the books. There's many books they're using for biology. You can buy the Living Heritage science plans a la carte. So even if you weren't going to use Living Heritage as your main curriculum, but you're wanting a living book, Charlotte Mason type high school curriculum that's biblically centered, you can buy those plans at livingheritage.com. So 2 of the books they are suggesting in their plans is Replacing Darwin by Ken Ham. Well, no, it's not by Ken Ham, but he promotes it. So it's on Masterbooks website. And this, I was really impressed as I flipped through of all the images, pictures, graphs, all kinds of stuff in this one. And like I said in the unboxing, they are going to be reading the junior edition of The Origin of Species with this, and they're going to be, going through that. So I think this will be phenomenal. We're also using the ecology book with the Living Heritage plans, and I was excited about this one because I really like these books. She used the general science and used 6 of these books this year, and they are really living, and I think they're very well written. And they're easy to read, but at the same time, they get the job done and there's some depth to them. So the ecology book is for science. And then I have Gage's math. So if you're familiar with Masterbooks, then you'll recognize their plan here or their assignment schedule. That's always in the front of any teacher's guide. But the reason this is really more Charlotte Mason is because it starts with like a lesson that's in like living format, and you read that on day 1, and then you have an exercise page, and then they have it. It's very easy to follow day 2, day 3, and so forth, and then you start over the next week with a new story. And so, like I said, my daughter actually tried to do level 4 when she was in 4th grade. It wasn't enough practice for her, but now they do offer practice pages to go with this if you do need more practice. So that's nice to know in case he does get in and need more practice, but I don't think he will. This is about how much we do out of our Rod and Staff book. And so I just cut a lot of the work out. Usually Rod and Staff's 2 pages, and I just do a few of each type of problem. And so I think this will be a really good fit for him. And then in the back, there's like manipulatives, some charts, and then your answer key. And then as far as geometry goes, we have never used Jacob's geometry. I have used teaching textbooks for both my boys that I've graduated, but Living Heritage really suggested this, and I've seen several people in the Charlotte Mason world suggest this, and she has done very well with the Principles of Mathematics book for 7th and 8th grade and for Masterbooks. And I just decided, instead of going like teaching textbooks or some kind of online, that we would stick with this. Now, the main reason I bought this was that it did come highly recommended, and the more I looked at it, the more I thought that it looked very practical, that there's a lot of things that, you know, from everyday life in here. And so I thought that she would like that and she would appreciate that. And also, if she does need the videos, they have the videos for this course on Masterbooks Academy, and it's actually the woman who taught Principles of Mathematics, and she did really well with that. So if we do need the videos, which I'm not real sure she will, she's pretty good at reading the text and being able to figure it out, and I can sit down with her if I need to. But how this is laid out is there's a chapter, so it starts with chapters and then they're broken into lessons. So let me find the beginning of a chapter. So here's a chapter, and then you have like lesson 1, and then you have your exercises, which is a lot, but you wouldn't have to do all that if they understood it. And so still exercises, and then you have lesson 2 over here. Again, exercises, and then a lesson. And the same format. It goes all throughout the book. And I think it takes about 2 weeks to get through most chapters. Some of the chapters are a little shorter, I noticed, but it's pretty much that much work or that many problems every day. Like I said, you know, you can cut those out, because let's see, like this lesson had 49 questions, which is a lot. So you can always make it fit for your family. But it has plenty of practice, plenty of diagrams, which is very important, I realized, with geometry. And so it's very nice. And then you have your teacher's guide, which of course, since it's produced by Masterbooks, has the same schedule in the front. That kind of walks you through it. Then it has a glossary of terms for you to use. Every chapter has like a glossary of terms that you need to use, so that's broken down for you. And then the test. So the test will stay in the teacher's guide, and then the answers to the test will be in the back here. So if you need help figuring out a problem that is in the textbook, it will be in here in the solutions manual. So it just has the answers and how you get the answers for the text. Here, test and terms and glossary there. And then you have your textbook. And you can also add the videos if you like. Okay, I have this one from G3 Ministries. Let's see. So first I have dictation day by day. So this will be my 3rd grader spelling. Then I bought the spiral bound hymns, their hymn book that they schedule in Living Heritage, and I bought 2 of those. I thought that would be a neat like keepsake for us, so I bought one for each of my kids so that they can take those with them after they leave our homeschool. Then this is something I'm really excited about. This is Charlotte Mason Beehive's Geography. They're actually from Britain, but G3 sells their products. So this is a geography book. And then this also goes with that. This is actually the pictures that go with the geography. And then I got, this is the Bible that goes, that is scheduled for my son. So this will be his Bible, Tune My Heart Children's Bible. And then I got our picture study prints, James Whistler and Winslow Hummer. So with, excuse me, we've all had a little cold. But since we have ordered all this from G3 Ministries, of course, this is scheduled with Living Heritage. It will be Form 1's Geography, Modern Geography, Little Folks in Modern Lands. And this is a reprint of a classic book. And I've read through it. It's so cute. And this book will actually tell you in the footnotes when to refer to the geography pictures here. So this is very well done, very high quality paper, but it tells you exactly when to show the pictures for the geography. So there's just like a little flip through. If you don't know about Charlotte Mason Beehive, you should really follow her on Instagram. She does a lot of cute videos. So this was for Form 1 Geography. And then this is Form 1 Bible. So they can either read the 5-day narrative plan called To My Heart, or for younger children, they have this Bible. So I decided just to go ahead and purchase it. It's soft covered, beautiful illustrations, and it's laid out very well. I like the way it's done. It's very thin, but I think it will be a good fit. Then we have Dictation Day by Day. You can actually get this free online. It's in the public domain for free. But G3 prints it. And it's actually what Heart of Dakota uses for their spelling. That's in the back of their books, if you're familiar with that. And so basically, you choose a dictation passage. They study it in those words, and then you'll dictate it to them. So that's spelling. And then the Living Heritage prints. So they do print now every artist that they schedule. And so these are nicely done. There's no information about each picture like Simply Charlotte Mason does. It's just the prints, and they're relatively cheap. I feel like they are very reasonably priced. So I got 2 of those sets because we do 2 artists a year, 1 per term. And then here is the hymn books that I purchased, more of a like keepsake for my kids. I just thought it'd be fun for them to have their own hymnal instead of me printing out our hymns that we study, and then they'll have it, you know, for the rest of their lives. They'll be able to go back and remember the hymns that we study together. So I have 2 of those. All right, so this is from Rainbow Resources. I'm not real sure what that is, but okay. And this reader I bought from for Gage, the what are they called? The Alice and Jerry Basic Reading Program books. We have some of these, and so I bought the next one for that. So that might have been a book for 5 in a row, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So I have a lot of picture books in this order. Henry the Castaway, The Finest Horse in Town, The Duchess Bakes a Cake, The Bee Tree, Andy and the Lion, Paul Revere's Ride. I already had this one, but it's cheaper just to buy the whole set together for 5 in a row. So, the Salamander Room, The Old Woman Who Named Things, Amber on the Mountain, Andy in the Circus. This is a nice hardback one. And then I have Handwriting Without Tears, Level 2. Language Lessons for the Very Young from Queen Homeschooling. This is a cursive practice for my daughter asked to get another cursive book. So the Wind and the Waves Obey. This book actually goes with the reader that I showed. And then I have 5 in a Row, Volume 3. And 5 in a Row, Nature, which we've never used, so I'm excited to for spring and summer. So I have 2 more packages here. This is from Zizuk, a book company, and this is from Livestone Resources. So first, the Zizuk books. I bought 2 of these composer books. I really like these. I wish I would have found these years ago for our composer study, because composer study is something that we haven't done very well. I don't feel like it's something that gets pushed back. But these books really have helped us do better with composer study this year. So I got these 2 for our composer study. And then for Livestone, let's see. So for Livestone here, I bought the Year 4 Illuminate Bible Curriculum. So I have been saying this is my favorite Bible curriculum for years and years. We did not use this last year, and I regretted it. I was afraid Living Heritage plus this might have been too much for my high schooler, but I saw that it wouldn't have been, and so I bought it for next year. So we are on Year 4. It's a 6-year Bible curriculum, and I have a couple of flip throughs on my channel of Illuminate, and I really like it, especially for high school. It's pricey, but it's worth it. So I got the teacher's manual and then 1 student manual from them. So this is the Scripture Scribes, and this is the intermediate level, and this is cursive. So how it works is like each lesson, you have a lesson, and that would be a week. Okay, so like week 3, day 1. And see, I love it because it's scripture, and so they're copying the scriptures, but then they're also going to copy it in different translations of the same verse. So they really get some immersion in the text. And so I really like that. And I like that they put the Vulgate in there. They have the NIV, the ESV, and the KJV. And so that's going to be my daughter's cursive. We've used Scripture Scribes in the past and really like them. They have books anywhere from like just beginning to learn to write all the way up to stuff like this. For my little guy, I got Printing Power because that's what Living Heritage suggested. So it's Handwriting Without Tears. This is their new updated manual for 2025. So that is going to be his handwriting. And then I also, here's just a quick peek at the Jerry and Alice book. So I got book 6. He's in book 5 now. And it's really sweet because actually book 5 was my aunt's book when she was in school. And so we are using it now, and he is reading through it, and is fun that it was hers. So I bought the next one just to see how that goes. And if it keeps going well, I'll buy the next one. But that's book 6. And then I also bought the workbook because I thought it would be some phonics practice in it. Not really a lot of font. I mean, a little. I think it's more of like writing practice and comprehension. But we'll use it when we can. It was cheap and I just wanted to try that out. So that, and then here is language lessons for the very young. This is from Queen. I'm really excited about this. I like her language arts studies if you're Charlotte Mason based. And I'll show you one of the reasons why I really enjoy this is because there's a lot of picture studies, and then she gives you like prompts, and it's like discussion, and so that helps them to be a better writer. Okay, so you see like a narration prompts, you see poetry appreciation, and then narrate about the poem, and then like here she asked to draw a picture or to express about the poem. And then there's copy work, then there's some grammar practice, and so forth. So copy work, and then you go into, let's see, observation and expression, narration, capital letters. And so it's just a little bit here and there, and every lesson is a day. So, and this is like a creative writing capitalization. There's a peek into that. And then I have the 5 in a row nature. And so I got the spring and the summer just to see how we would like it. And as I was flipping through, I really think this is going to go well for us. There's poems in here. There's different picture book suggestions in here. But then she has like animals. You can just go through and pick what you want to study about. Birds. And then she gives nature like notebooking ideas. And then she always ties it back. There's a lot of tying it back into the Bible. And like, she gives some more like sheets. Let's see if I can find them. She gives some like worksheets in the back. I think it's in the back. So like there's those nature journal prompts there. There's a rainy day observation sheets, 5 senses, and it's very well done. Simple, but very helpful. I feel like art in the spring. There's all the poems that you could pick from and read. Okay, so I'm excited to use it. And then, of course, this big pile of all these books. So the one I was confused about in the unboxing is a 5 in a row book. I was confused because it was a I Can Read book, and usually they don't use those. But so here is the book. So if you purchase from Rainbow Resources, you can purchase the whole set. So all the books plus the guide. And that's what I decided to do this year instead of trying to piece together. That's just how I wanted to do it this time. So I went ahead, and I think it was like $150 for all of it, and it wasn't going to be that much cheaper, probably like $15 cheaper if I bought them all used. And so I just decided just to go ahead and get them all together, and some of them I was having a harder time finding used. So these are all the books that go with 5 in a row volume 3. So the volume 3 books are a little longer. Like the stories are a little longer, I noticed. Like Andy and the Lion here is a little longer. You can see, well, that was maybe not too long, but I have noticed they're a little longer. So as they go, the stories get a little longer. The updated guides do have the printables, and so that's very handy. Yep, so I got 5 in a row volume 3. Excited about it.
And just a quick peek at these. These are basically just a living book about the composers. And you can see a child could read this. You wouldn't have to necessarily read this on their own. A child could read this on their own. The print is pretty big. And it is for like Form 1 students, but I read it for my high schooler as well, and I just keep it in our like together time basket. And on our composer day, I'll read just a bit out of this book throughout the term. Okay. And then we have my favorite, Illuminate Bible Curriculum. So we are on Volume 4, God's Glory as He Builds His Kingdom. And so this year we will cover the covenants, through law training, through relationships, through direct intervention. It says Joseph's legacy, the Exodus, David and Solomon, and the church. And so if you're not familiar, how it works is that every week you will have an introduction page, then you'll have a story element section. You read the scripture plus this, and then they will do the story elements assigned in their page there. And then you will move on and you'll read the Bible and its riches and the context the next day. And then they will answer the context. And then connections and cross-focused, same thing. There's not very many questions. And then doctrine and worldview. And I usually combine those two because we do 4 days. Well, actually, I combine these two plus the application because we do 4 days. And then that's it. And so, but at the end of each unit, there is a unit test. And it's a pretty lengthy test. So, 35 questions on this one. We don't always do the test, but they're there if you need them. So, in this guide, they answer their questions. And the questions I have found to be very helpful, so that's why I went ahead and got the guide. And then the teacher's manual is where the actual lessons are, and then your answers are in the back for the guide. Okay, I have a few books from ThriftBooks. So I have the Poetry for Young People, Robert Frost. We've really enjoyed using these this year for our together time, so we'll continue using those. Robert Frost will be one of our poets. And then I have Here I Stand, The Life of Martin Luther. And I have The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So out of that package, and I have more coming from ThriftBooks. Okay, so from ThriftBooks, we have Terrapin, Wendell Berry's poetry. Then we have Eric Little's Pure Gold. And then we have The Road from Home. We have a Shakespeare book for my son, William Shakespeare and the Globe. We have The Little Red Lighthouse, Mrs. Kratz and Tush. And Marriott on the High Wire. These are 3 of the 5 in a row books that I needed to finish out Volume 2. Then we have Endurance, Shackleton's Journey, and Snow Treasure. Now from Christian Books, I bought the Theodore Roosevelt book by Beautiful Feats. My daughter has a Greek reader. Then we have The Silent Road to Rescue, a Uncle Eric book, What Happened to Justice, on Writing Well, Along Came Galileo, The Winged Watchman,
This is Piercing Heaven, Prayers from the Puritans, a great New Testament reader. I'm going to go ahead and finish this video here, just because it's getting a little lengthy. I do have a few more unboxings. It's basically just books from, let's say, Living Book Press, Purple House Publishers. I got some from Amazon, and a few more here and there that I've ordered that will be coming in, but I'll probably do another unboxing.